is going to be our 20th show. And yeah.
Today we're going to have our very first fashion show meeting. This is April, and there's been a lot of work that has happened prior to this meeting, especially on the collection.
We just put together a document that kind of went through various elements of the TV show, and it'd be nice to get everybody's thoughts and comments and feelings on it, really. All the collection looks were fantastic. We really liked that there was some actual kind of moments within the show. So, for instance, Ali and Adriana was a really nice moment.
Yeah.
It just kind of breaks up that procession. Ed, you had a note about how do we make the closing moment, the closing angel moment, as big as the opening moment. After last year, my thought was, do we in some way construct a theatrical sequence with a beginning, a middle, and an end?
To your point, I think we should, just really kind of shake up our thinking processes.
Yeah.
When do you think we'll have talent?
Rihanna has agreed to do the show. She's got a new
called
album,
us from Hawaii, yes.
and she wants to do it.
It'd be great.
One of the things that happened with last year in adding Ed Sheeran and adding Hozier, it was a great show.
We had 4 artists in the show last year, and it was the best show yet, and it rated really well, and it was exciting, and so I think we keep that formula.
In my head, the only thing that matters is the TV show, obviously, because millions, if not billions of people see it. My role is to constantly battle for the lens.
I found out over the weekend, Chip said that we may be able to get the Armory back if we want it. That's going to be a decision of, I think, Renee and Hamish and team.
So what's the downside of the Javits Center, the ceiling height?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of advantages to having a big space for hair and makeup and all the press.
How big a camera question is it for you guys?
It's enormous.
Enormous.
Yeah, it will make the show very different. So when designing the show, we'd have to really think cleverly and carefully about how, I'm not saying we can't do it there, but I am saying we need to think. My instinct is, if we've got the Armory, game, set, match the Armory, but if we have got the Javits, the show's going to come really, really down.
It's the Armory.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Armory. It's not even complicated. Yeah, it's the Armory.
I'd love to start with the collection. I think the collection informs some of the creative direction.
These are so cool.
So we're going to start with boho psychedelic. Basically, this was born out of creating something of the rock and roll time. Woodstock, Janis Joplin.
She's a rock and roll girl, but it's luxe and rich, so she had some money to have some cool clothes made.
Okay, exotic butterflies. What we wanted to explore was the richness of the colour of the butterflies, of the texture of the feathers. It's a more abstract thing than psychedelic boho, but it still will give us a lot of rich, portrait of an angel. It's very tuley, dusty pinks, dusty blues. So it's this very fragile, feminine moment. This is the pink section. Basically, it was a celebration of all American girls. So there's all these sorts of iconic Americana referenced women. So this is Ice Angels. She's a ski angel, but a much more focus on luxuries.
We wanted to take it to a very
different
sporty,
direction,
sporty direction, but still luxe.
Firework. Wings that become Catherine wheels, that will be made of feathers, that will rotate. We're trying to address it in a different way. Lots of really large, vividly coloured, jewel-like embroideries, and that's it.
It's important that we build a show and a balance through the show and a kind of crescendo over time. What would you have as the finale at the moment?
God,
I know, right? I mean, we won't lock in today.
No.
Psychedelic.
But wouldn't you start with psychedelic?
Well, I mean,
yeah, I think you'd start with psychedelic.
Either start or end with it.
If you're going to establish at the front end of it, I'd start with psychedelic.
It could be really, it's going to be so colourful, and it's almost like when we did Circus to open, and there's lots of texture and lots of colour and stuff going on. If we can manage to recreate something of that excitement, that would be amazing.
One of the main things that we really need to accomplish between now and June 6th, which is our next meeting, is really the space, the venue, what it's going to look like. We feel very confident that it's going to be an exciting show, but the pieces are all still moving.
Lighting elements of all kinds of different shapes and everything like that that are highly programmable.
I'm nervous about this one and I can't quite get it into my head.
I disagree with Hamish wholeheartedly.
You really, really got to be able to look at your stuff and say, is it working or not working?
So this is the time of year where I like to scare you guys by saying the number of days there are until the fashion show. 67 days.
I like that.
That was a good reaction.
We've been looking at all of this stuff for months. What sections go where, what models go where, and it's very far along.
Today was the last group production meeting for everyone to get together, to see everything one last time before we really go off and put the final touches on the show.
At this point, is it worth fast forwarding to show day? Can you go back to your image?
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I love these pieces. I'd hate for these to be killed on the day because...
We didn't think about it enough now.
Is this better to be closer to it or farther from it?
It works both ways, and I don't actually have a super strong opinion either way. You could put it either side, and actually, okay, I'll make a decision. Lampposts this side, architectural
stuff the other side.
Indecision is in what I do is a bad thing. So you're either decisively right or decisively wrong. But indecision is just like everything just grinds to a halt, and you end up with mediocrity, which is never great.
President of Universal Records called me yesterday and he said, I know you'd inquired about Selena, and he said, we'd really like to try to make this happen. Tell me what you need and we'll send you whatever songs you want. We'll do it in any of this. And he said, we do research with her fans, and the number one thing in the world that they want to see her on is your show. When we come to a talents manager with the combination of the Victoria's Secret show, which is unlike anything else, and they don't get another venue like that all year long. There just isn't one.
We feel so well planned and everything is all, buttoned up. We know the sections, we know the music artists that we want to go after. We know what things are looking like, but it's still now crunch time.
OMG.
What the?
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
I know, it's firework.
It certainly is.
So excited. We're going to see Monica.
Everyone has a lot of, wonderful ideas for the show. And then it's really, herding it all together. And what's happening? Oh, wow. Oh my God. I think it's the most intricate piece we have ever done. That's a happy moment. You never know, when you sketch it and then design it and do the fittings, because that is custom made for her. You never know how it's going to come in. Honestly, that exceeds my expectation. That looked amazing.
Working under the assumption we're starting the show with boho psychedelic to disperse as many as we can lighting elements of all kinds of different shapes and everything like that that are highly programmable. We're probably going to be mixing different types of sources.
I'm nervous about this one. I can't quite get it into my head. The mix of the two techniques and the reveal of the first girl. It makes me nervous, and I'm not sure that it sets the kind of the agenda of the show as we have in previous years.
It was very important for me as one of the executive producers to really listen to Hamish and listen to what his feedback was, because it has to work for him. It can't just be beautiful and be dramatic. It has to look good on television.
I disagree with Hamish wholeheartedly about the aesthetic juxtaposition being strange. I'm entirely convinced it's actually going to look amazingly rich.
You have to trust the people that you've hired. You have to trust them to do thoughtful work and to have a vision.
Just this coming in, super dim, backlit, smoke behind, content here, girls gets preset, thing just explodes in your face. It's totally rock and roll. I mean, it's rock and roll. It's just like,
Anything that can get the audience screaming and excited to us is a very exciting opening.
So we've done the first 5 seconds.
One of the most exciting things about working on the show is all the different artisans that we work with.
So I'm a bit confused. This is not good. We cannot hold back because it would be at the expense of the show.
Working on the show is always really exciting for us because it is a true collaboration. So we have the Victoria's Secret lingerie that we start with, but we really want to tap into artisans and their craft. We want to let them have the freedom to do creative and beautiful things for the show.
I'm half of the Makery Studio. My partner Joy and I started off about 5 years ago. We're specialised in paper projects. I was really excited when Victoria's Secret approached us about this project because it's very rare that such a big company is so brave and so creative with their concepts. You know, we realised it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something this artistic and this out there for a company that's as big as they are.
It's more difficult for us to work with new people all the time. It's a lot of work to have somebody take what their skill is and to adapt it to a wing that's made for a model.
My origins were in theater, and then I got into Broadway shows, operas. From doing that work, I happened to get a call from Victoria's Secret. What our shop does, we make a lot of the bigger wings. We've been doing this since 2009. It's been really exciting from the beginning. Every year, it's a new challenge. That's what they like to say. We're pushing you to your limits to do something new.
We're always about finding the most relevant artisan for the piece. And whether they're working in their kitchen or as part of a global brand is irrelevant to us. We care about the product.
You're at the Lost Art Studio. We do custom leather. Everything we do is one of a kind because we work with natural materials. The music industry, the fashion industry, any of the creative industries, we pretty much have our client base. People like Carlos Santana, Steven Tyler, Lady Gaga, Rihanna, the list goes on. For Victoria's Secret, they have their image already in mind of what they need to have done. They just need someone who could make it really sexy and complement their lingerie.
Wow, that looks amazing. We could do some fringing on the front after all that. Like the sketch, yeah.
All right.
It's cool to make something from nothing. Like, it's just a pile of stuff laying on a table flat, and next thing you know, you have this amazing little sculpture.
I think that's great. I'm so happy with it.
So what we need to do, turn around,
Rather than it being stripy, I feel it feels a bit banded. It sort of needs to degrade as red in the centre, then yellow at the ends.
We're into the second or third month now of working on the pieces, and everything is almost at the point where they're finished. So killer, man.
Babes,
Yeah, I love
that
it.
is,
Shout out Jimi
wow.
Hendrix for you guys.
The fringing is so much
Yeah, the fringe is so cool.
better.
There's a bunch of surprises today. Do you know?
No.
The cat out of the bag? I don't know if you guys are, like, I'm looking. No?
No.
Okay. Surprise.
Oh, you made it anyway. You are so funny. I love it. You're like, here it is. I don't care. Wow. Cute.
I'm about movement, so I wanted to demonstrate that things could be done where it still moves and still sexy. I think it went really well.
So, I'm a bit confused. No, what I thought was going to happen was that they were going to be more
3D.
Yeah.
What we can do is add thicker levels, so make it poke
I
out
think
more.
what I'd like to do is create like more cylindrical shapes to give it much more 3D.
Okay.
What I have a problem with when anything's that flat, it becomes like a sail. It's about making the show the best it can be, and if we have faltered along the way by not delivering the information correctly or by being too fearful of upsetting someone, that would be disastrous for the show.
I was surprised, but I really agree with their comments. It was good to hear them, so I think now I know how we can make the wing better.
The next essential element to the show that's coming up is our casting.
There are girls, as we're speaking, who are working out 2-3 hours a day, every day, just for the casting. I know that as a fact.
The show is 10 days away. Every model in the world wants to be in this show, so it's going to be hard. It's going to be a very difficult couple of days.
I had probably well over 400 or 500 models submitted to me for consideration. I saw close to 300 in the first 2 days of casting, which I do on my own with my team. And in the 2 days of callbacks, I try to keep it to a maximum of 100 girls.
You just kind of have to relax. They're all lovely people, they're all smiling, and you kind of just have to just shake off the nerves. Have fun with it, basically. To prepare for this show, I like to get in my underwear, put my speakers on, practice my walk in my tiny little apartment in Harlem.
You're meant to be objective about it, but you know all the girls, you know how hard they've worked for it. A few of them showed their emotions, but they all feel that way. Every one of them feels that way.
There's several that were either fighting back tears or literally crying here today because there's such a build-up and they've been working for it and wanting it so badly.
Every year it feels like it's the very, very first show. And one thing that I do all year long is really try to work as hard as I can so I can deserve to be here. Be part of the moment that only happens at the show, at the Victoria's Secret Fashion Show. It's very, it's like, God.
The minute a model starts working with Victoria's Secret, you can kind of hear the champagne popping in the offices across model world, because once, you know, the phone rang and they asked for her, the career just kind of explodes.
And I know how hard they've worked for it, and hardly any of them will make it, and a lot of them deserve to make it.
You have to just encourage them that, you know, that it's just not their time, but that doesn't mean no forever, and to kind of keep your hopes up and keep working forward.
That's my second year I'm doing the casting, and same thing, same nervous.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your body looks great.
Yes. Thank you. I step up my workout, you know, eating right. I definitely learned a lot more about nutrition this year, and I think it's definitely gave me some better results than last year. I'm very happy this year.
There is no room to hide, there is no airbrushing, there is no, you know, you have to bring it, and that's what this interaction is really important for.
You want to look very confident, and you want to feel confident. You don't even just want to look confident. You want to know that all your hard work is paid off, and this is like the moment that you've been waiting for.
Models are no longer just pretty cover girls. People want to know who they are. They want to know her background, what she does when she's not working. They want to know, like, they want to know her.
Hi,
Gigi.
Hello, everyone.
What are you doing on November 9th and 10th?
I don't know.
Why don't you come join us?
Really? Yeah! Oh, yeah! Where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
Germany.
Brussels, Peru originally. Brazil from the south. Nepal, Tanzania, India, Holland.
Denmark. Reunion Island. I'm from Reunion Island.
Where is Reunion Island?
It's a bit crazy because Victoria's Secret is a really amazing show.
You look well, you look very good.
So I'm trying to be as comfortable as I can and to smile with people and like be happy and have fun, because I think it's the whole point of Victoria's Secret.
We've had 2 days of castings, and now our job is to go and review everything.
Just
let it go, Sophia. There's 45 girls on
Oh
the
my
show.
God, no,
Don't-
no. I mean,
I wouldn't
for
fight
sure.
for anyone
No,
that's
no.
not up there already.
She exudes glamour, that girl. There's no question
She's
that
good
she
on
does
the
that.
runway. She's
Yeah,
powerful
there's no
on the
question.
runway.
And she's in better, I think she's in better shape than she's been in some time.
Can I move those 3 girls over?
Wait, no. No, not yet. We're still in the middle of it. Honestly, that side of the board for me is more relevant than this side of the board.
They glowed. They had what
are we
Sophia
today?
calls the
Her, and I
magic
think her
dust.
from-
These girls are all physical phenomenons, all of them.
It's quite exciting because everything's happening right now.
We just had to make it much more stunning.
We feel like we're all in Camp Victoria's Secret. Everybody flies in from out of town, and now we just put the show together. We are in the stage of fittings right now, which is a very crucial part of the collection because we are seeing the models for the first time in their outfits and we're letting them walk and rehearse, and the artisans are here. They're making sure that the wings work. This is the most important time for the collection. We made an amazing wing that's a bit heavy. We want to see if you want it. Okay.
So far, so good.
We've managed to literally take the peak of technology right now and bring it in and turn it into amazing wings for this year's fireworks section.
Oh my god, it's incredible! Do you make this? Stop it. I want it.
The boots don't work. It's not enough.
This is in the boho psychedelic
Yeah.
section, right? There's a lot of leather. The shoes are so amazing. They're kind of savage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Once Sophia's done her magic with the jewelry and everything, the outfits come together. I love these wings.
It's one of the most exciting things ever.
Is Selena gonna sing the national anthem for me as I walk out?
You're opening the section in this outfit. The opening!
His outfit is cute, sexy, and funny. No, those boots are too big for Sarah Sampard. Why? So, Serkan, we're going to have to adjust it because we need to see more of the bra. Probably needs to be the frame that you need to...
Like that?
Yeah, perfect. Oh, yes.
Having to start again with something when you've already worked on it really hard is not easy. And I think seeing it take this sort of shape and seeing how it works now, it's so worth it.
She looks amazing, amazing, amazing.
Okay.
It's insane. I feel like Wonder Woman.
Oh my god! This outfit that you're wearing in the fireworks section is closing the whole show.
Yes! Look. No.
Oh my god, I had no idea. Oh my god,
big deal, it's a big deal.
That's amazing. I'm gonna...
I'm really nervous. Once those light up wings go on stage, I will breathe a huge sigh of relief because I have never in my entire time working for Victoria's Secret been so nervous about a wing.
Wow!
This look is incredible. It's very important, especially today, to make sure that it feels right and in the right place.
Yes. Oh my god, babe, your body looks amazing.
I know.
You know what's funny is that I saw like a few of the sketches come out on Instagram and stuff that people were posting, and I saw this look, and I was like, I want that look. And oh my God, look! Seriously, I have a screenshot of it in my phone.
We're opening the show We're creating dreams one model at a time. Everything that's happening over at the Armory is so important to what we're going to be seeing on television. It's crunch time. We're getting ready for the show.
So we're at the 69th Regiment Armory. We are in the middle of day 3 of pre-rig. This gets staged very much like a theatrical show, so it takes us about 2 weeks before we're fully ready to get into rehearsals. From a TV perspective, it's as big as the Oscars, but because we're in a venue that has no seats, we kind of have to create the theater, so we're in this very wide open venue now that will eventually become a very closed-in black box with seating sections and cameras.
I want to welcome you all to the last pre-production meeting before tomorrow's fashion show.
Yay!
Yeah. Are you? Are you cheering because we don't have to have any more of these meetings?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to make this a relatively short meeting because we've got a lot to do this afternoon. We've got 2 shows to do tomorrow.
We have 45 wings this year, which the most we've ever had is 35, so there's a lot of passing by people and that we need to work out with Jermaine and dancers, especially for the pink section.
We just walked out of the Ellie Goulding sound check, right? And as you all know, a week ago today, we found out that that we needed to book Ellie. We got a call from Rihanna's manager saying her album wasn't ready and she wasn't able to perform.
I took a moment to think about it, absorb it, and think about a solution, because that's kind of how we do things, right? We don't bring problems, we bring solutions.
You have to have contingency plans for everything.
And then suddenly Ellie appears just like a sort of little angel to save that little hole we had in the show. And you know, we've seen in her in rehearsal, she didn't have much time to think about it, to prepare, and she just came and just absolutely nailed rehearsals.
It's the day before the show, and it's a very important time for us because it's the first time the models are going to be here on stage rehearsing.
This afternoon is walking in shoes and wings, so that we get the rhythm and the sense of it and everything that we have to make sure that it just works.
Do you know what's happening?
So nervous. I'm being an idiot because I'm nervous.
Where's the shoe?
To turn around. Like this, wait, and then go. Okay.
Yeah, so just wait 1 second, 1 beat, and then a beat.
This is a very content-heavy show, and anytime you put a moving image in front of a performer, then you've got timing things. So for about 10 days now, it's just fine-tuning seconds here and there. That's what we've been doing.
A lot of this show is basically about the alchemy and the chemistry that kind of happens between the girls when the lights actually go up and it's real showtime. So this is good. This is kind of gives you very basic blocking, but it doesn't really give you any idea of what magic is going to happen on the night. So your walk is exactly as it was, and then when you turn, you come back and you find this mark. So as Laïs gets here, everybody goes out.
Everybody goes out, stage right or left.
There's a lot of big wings up
We're
here.
just trying to do a standing with the Army idea.
Almost every girl has a wing.
My instinct to do it this way is, having seen those again, is that's...
Wide, 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 wide.
It's quite wide.
I don't think that's going to work. We'll go back to the original premise and go on to the
Okay,
next
cool.
phase.
It was our time in rehearsals to see how things moved and see what the wings do when they're on the model on the stage. They have a very long runway to walk. So there was a lot of last minute changes.
Is there anything left to do? I mean, the show's tomorrow. Are you finished?
There's a lot to do.
The girls are starting to get a little nervous now.
We have an entire section with real jewels, and the jewels aren't here yet.
We're in hair and makeup on the 5th floor of the Armory. There's 47 models. There's got to be double that amount of hair and makeup people and double that amount of reporters.
This year we're doing a package with Rachel and Gigi because it's their first time walking and we're trying to see that through their fresh eyes.
We're shooting the television special around the backstage, so there's crews and they're showing them the wings for the first time. So Rachel's in the pink section and we just added wings to her outfit last night.
This is like one of my favorite parts. It's like when I get pumped for the actual show. It makes everything real.
I'm so excited, like I can't even describe how excited I am. I remember when I got the call saying I got the show, I was nearly in tears. So I'm so happy that I'm finally here.
All of the girls are really excited because this is a huge, big deal.
I can believe it's getting close. It's getting close and the nerves is kicking in right now.
We have an entire section with real jewels, and the jewels aren't here yet. So we are literally an hour away from the show, and they may not make it in.
I don't think we should change our shooting plan because if we go for detail in the evening, we're likely to miss some kind of great performer and or model interactions. So I just wanted to kind of give you that heads up.
This is actually our 20th show. You, 47 people here tonight, along with all of those who came before you, don't yet total 200 women who have ever been on this runway. And that's insane. I want to be clear about this, that I have made your dreams come true. That is not true. You have made my dreams come true.
Coming through, so sorry. I'm not ready, no. Freaking out!
This is the rarest gig on the planet. Their grace and their power and their beauty and their joy, it's the only thing like it in the world.
I think I'm just looking forward to just the energy, and it's always nice when you get something that's so unique. Every now and then do something epic.
Being able to do it for the first time with some of my best friends is awesome.
Oh my God, I can't even be kidding. I'm so excited. The jewelry did not make it to the first show, but we put it on the girls for the second show, and it was Portrait of an Angel. It was worth the wait.
I'm gonna cry. Closing the show. It's gone amazing. Now I gotta go grab the class photo.
The live show is over, but we're going into the editing suite. We're going to start editing for the CBS special. So this part's over, which is a...